It's Saturday morning, August 14th, and I'm watering our square foot garden. Here on the left is a trellis with 4 feet of pole beans, 4 feet row length anyway. And it's producing quite well right now. It's probably getting near its peak. So we've been eating a lot of green beans. Here we have one bushing cucumber plant that has filled this trellis. I think we need a taller trellis next year, and we have gotten a couple gallons of pickles out of that, along with plenty of slicing cucumbers for salads. Here are a couple cherry tomatoes, a couple grape tomatoes that have been producing sheets of tomatoes. I'm holding this at eye level. These are pretty tall. And the onions are pretty much done. But here you can get an idea of what these tomatoes are doing. And there are the cucumbers. There are the beans. And here are early girls. Probably my favorite all-around tomato that I've done so far. Rosemary and thyme and marjoram maybe, and basil. I've trimmed a lot off of that bush. And peppers and dill. Monica has put by quite a bit of roasted tomatoes. Many pounds we've picked. This is the second planting of arugula and spinach. A couple of red lettuce that came up from the first planting. But the arugula is now my favorite. Where has it been all my life? Takes a lot of work on the soil with compost and vermiculite when appropriate. And bone meal, especially for the tomatoes. I get blossom end rot due to calcium deficiency that requires several applications, maybe 4 heavy applications of bone meal to prevent having these planted so close together. These are all indeterminate varieties of tomatoes so that I can train them to a single vine up the trellis. And I learned all that from Mel Bartholomew's book, The Square Foot Gardener. And back here is my Cocoa Raws rain gauge, and that's a half-hearted attempt at cilantro that I planted at the last minute. This is a little patchy because I used seed tape. Some of it didn't come up, and I've just been too busy to plant again. But the arugula has produced a lot. I've had a couple of harvests there where I just take a bread knife and slice right across it about 3 inches. This is Jet Star. I hadn't tried that variety before, and I probably won't do it again. These trellises are made from electrical conduit, and the trellis itself the netting is from Menards. Every spring I have to repair that a little bit. These tomatoes would probably be 14 feet high easily by now. I had to top them at least a couple weeks ago, maybe 3, or they'd still be climbing. They're as almost as tall as I can reach where I topped them. They stay very clean because they're off the ground and thoroughly ventilated, and I spray them down every time I water. They get washed. I don't need to fight insects anywhere other than on the arugula. The flea beetle devours the arugula, just the arugula. So that requires 7. Otherwise, this is all organic. Okay, maybe not. I do use 10-10-10 granular fertilizer, so it's probably not sanctified enough for a true organic person.